Stephanie White has just revealed the starting lineup ahead of tomorrow's game between the Indiana Fever and the Washington Mystics. And the big news? Syd Colson is getting the start at point guard. That's a notable shift. But even more importantly, Caitlin Clark was back at practice today. She's up, she's moving around, and yes, she was spotted shooting threes during warm-ups. That's a very encouraging sign. Let's be real here. Caitlin Clark is the driving force behind the Indiana Fever offense. She's the engine. The pace, the spacing, the rhythm, all of it flows better when she's on the floor. So, it was definitely a blow when she went down with that injury. Fortunately, early signs are that it's not season-ending, and it's not career-threatening either. That alone is a relief not just for the Fever, but honestly, for the WNBA as a whole. Why? Because Clark's presence isn't just about scoring or assists, it's the ripple effect. She's carrying a massive amount of weight on her shoulders, whether she wants to or not. She's been a ratings magnet, a box office draw, and an attendance booster for every arena she's stepped into. The United Center matchup with the Chicago Sky was expected to shatter attendance records with more than 20,000 fans. Now, that's suddenly uncertain. To put it in perspective, ticket prices for upcoming Fever games have already dropped by 42%. That shows you just how much impact she has. But here's the silver lining. Caitlin Clark is still moving. She's still smiling. She's still there. And while some casual fans may tune out if she's not playing, this is still the WNBA, and the talent across the league is worth watching. Personally, I'll be catching the Liberty versus Valkyries game tonight here in New York, because the action is still fire, with or without Caitlin. And as for that point guard decision, Stephanie White spoke to the media after practice, confirming that in Clark's absence, she's rolling with Colson to start. I'll admit I thought she might go with Sophie Cunningham in that spot. But this is the move Steph is making. We'll see how it plays out. For now, the Fever and the league are breathing a little easier knowing Caitlin Clark is still very much in the mix.
How much are you looking forward to just seeing what this new identity can look like, at least for the next few weeks?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think we've got a real opportunity to grow here. Playing with different lead guards, playing in different actions, seeing what all of our off-ball stuff can look like. It gives us a different pace too when we're in our quarter court. So I think it's a good opportunity for us to look at get a lot of different looks on both ends of the court.
A lot of coaches like problem solving. Obviously, you'd like to have your team play attack, but there are elements to you being like, oh, this could be interesting to see what we can do it differently.
Yeah, for sure. And it's when I'm calling games and you look at injuries that happen, especially early in the season, it gives you opportunities to build confidence in your depth. It gives you opportunities to see what you can look like down the stretch. Because when you're playing, in the end of the year and you're playing in the postseason, your rotations can be a little bit deeper, right? And you want players to have confidence in those moments to be able to step up and make the play or take the shot. So I think it gives us opportunity for growth. I also think it gives Caitlin opportunity for growth. Now she's going to see it on the sideline. She's going to be hearing us talk about it on the sideline from a coach's perspective. There's varying levels to how you see the game as a player in year 1, 2, and as a player in year 9, 10, and as a coach and assistant coach and all those things. So it gives her an opportunity to see it from a different lens.
You mentioned using these 2 practices as trying to figure out your rotations, who's going to run point. Have you kind of nailed that down yet?
Yeah, we're going to start Syd at the point tomorrow. We're going to give that a look. Sophie's going to get a heavy dose of it as well. The other thing that we love is what Sophie and or Lexi, whichever one, brings us from the bench and having that spark, having that punch. So we're gonna look at Syd in that starting lineup to start.
Stephanie White's decision to start Sidney Colson at point guard is rooted in Colson's extensive veteran experience, despite her limited minutes and production in recent seasons. Colson, who joined the Fever after winning 2 championships with the Las Vegas Aces, brings a steady presence and leadership to the floor, which is especially valuable in the absence of star rookie Caitlin Clark, who is sidelined with a left quadricep strain and expected to miss at least 2 weeks. While Colson's scoring and assist numbers have been modest, her ability to facilitate and manage the game is a stabilizing factor for a young roster. White's approach recognizes the mental demands of stepping into a new role. Starting Colson who has navigated high-pressure situations throughout her career, is less disruptive than thrusting someone like Sophie Cunningham into an unfamiliar role with a new team. This calculated move allows White to maintain continuity and composure in the lineup during a challenging stretch without Clark. Sophie Cunningham as the spark plug. Sophie Cunningham, acquired via trade in the offseason, is viewed as a potential X-factor for the Fever. While she has been recovering from an ankle injury and was unavailable for the season opener, her eventual return is anticipated to provide a significant boost off the bench. White and the coaching staff are prioritizing Cunningham's health, ensuring she is fully ready before returning to game action. When healthy, Cunningham's energy and scoring ability make her an ideal sixth woman, a role that can dramatically shift momentum during games. Sixth players often inject energy and change the flow, which is why Cunningham is seen as so integral to the Fever's success, maintaining rotations and team chemistry. White's strategy also preserves the team's rotations and chemistry. By keeping Colson in the starting lineup and Cunningham as a high-impact reserve, the Fever can maintain consistency. This approach ensures that when Clark returns, the team will be more cohesive, having developed resilience and depth during her absence. Losing Clark, who averages 19 points, 9.3 assists, and 6 rebounds per game, is a significant blow to the Fever's offense and the WNBA at large. She is the clear engine of the team's attack, and her absence forces others to step up. However, White views this as an opportunity for growth. The team will need to tighten up its offense, particularly its ball movement, while relying on its improved defense to stay competitive. This period without Clark can help the Fever build depth and versatility, ultimately making them stronger when she returns. Offensive philosophy and defensive emphasis. White's broader philosophy centers on fast-paced, ball-sharing offense, leveraging the talents of Clark, when healthy, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell. The Fever's goal is to be difficult to guard by keeping the ball moving and utilizing multiple scoring threats. On defense, White emphasizes anticipation, awareness, and activation, aiming to transform the Fever into a more complete team. Stephanie White's strategy balances veteran leadership, mental resilience, and tactical flexibility. By starting Colson and saving Cunningham for a high-impact bench role, she maximizes both stability and potential game-changing energy. The current adversity posed by Clark's injury is being treated as a developmental window for the team, with an eye on long-term growth and playoff aspirations. Let's talk about playmaking, or more specifically, the lack of it, on the Indiana Fever roster right now. Aaliyah Boston, no doubt, has a high-level basketball IQ, especially for a big. She sees the floor well, she makes the right reads, and she's got great instincts in the post. But even with all that, she's averaging just 2.3 assists per game. And here's the thing, so is Kelsey Mitchell, two of your top offensive weapons, and neither one is cracking more than 2.3 dimes per contest. In fact, nobody on the Indiana Fever is averaging more than that. Now, let's put that in perspective by looking at the league's top-tier teams. Take the New York Liberty and especially the Minnesota Lynx, teams with true offensive rhythm and ball-sharing systems. The Lynx, in particular, are putting on a clinic. They have 7 players, yes, 7, averaging at least 2.3 assists per game. That's not just rare, that's elite team basketball. And here's what's even more impressive. That assist distribution is happening without Kayla McBride, who's currently sidelined but expected back soon. When she returns, the Lynx are going to be even more dangerous. Kayla is a floor spacer, a smart passer, and a high IQ vet who knows how to get the ball moving. So when you compare that level of fluid offense to what Indiana is doing right now, the gap becomes pretty clear. The Fever have talent, no question, but they're struggling to connect the dots on the offensive end. The numbers back it up, and so does the eye test. Until that ball starts moving more consistently, Indiana's ceiling is going to be limited, even with all the star power. Indiana Fever's playmaking challenge without Caitlin Clark. When you look at the Indiana Fever's offense, so much of it flows through Caitlin Clark. Not just her scoring, which leads the team at over 19 points per game, but her playmaking and ability to generate easy looks for her teammates. Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell are right behind her in scoring. But it's important to note that a huge portion of Boston's points have come off Clark's assists. Without Clark on the floor, the Fever are going to have to rethink how they create offense and move the ball. This is going to be a real test for the team. Clark's presence as the floor general has allowed everyone else to settle into their roles, knowing she'll find them if they get to their spots. Now, Boston and Mitchell, along with the rest of the roster, will need to step up and take on more responsibility as playmakers. It's a chance for the team to grow, to develop new habits, and to become less dependent on a single player for their offensive engine. Defensive growth and player roles. One bright spot is the Fever's defense, which has taken a noticeable leap this season. That's going to be crucial as they navigate this stretch without their star point guard. Players like Dana Bonner, even though she's in a shooting slump right now, are still making a big impact on the defensive end. We've seen Bonner have these stretches before. Last season, she had a month where her shot just wasn't falling, and it clearly affected her confidence. But she's still putting the work on defense, and that's something the team can lean on. Michaela Timpson is another player to watch. She's likely to see more minutes, and her length and defensive instincts could be a real asset, especially as the Fever look to grind out wins in lower-scoring games. The Fever's upcoming schedule actually provides a bit of a cushion. Before they face the powerhouse New York Liberty in mid-June, they'll play the Minnesota Lynx, the Washington Mystics twice, the Connecticut Sun, the Chicago Sky, and the Atlanta Dream. Several of these teams are still searching for their first win. So it's a window for Indiana to experiment with lineups and build confidence without facing the league's toughest opponents. Syd Colson's role and Cunningham's impact. As for the point guard spot, it makes sense that Stephanie White would turn to Syd Colson's start. Colson brings veteran poise, but I don't expect her to play huge minutes. Instead, look for Sophie Cunningham to come off the bench late in the first or early in the second quarter, providing energy and playmaking. There's also a chance Colson could surprise us and have a breakout game. But this feels like an opportunity for Cunningham to really show what she can do in a spark plug role. One interesting angle is Caitlin Clark's perspective from the sidelines. The last time she was out, she said it gave her a new understanding of the game, almost like a coach's view. That kind of experience can only help her and the team when she returns. Overall, this is a challenging stretch for the Fever, but it's also a chance for growth. If they can tighten up their ball movement, lean on their improved defense, and find new ways to generate offense, they'll be a stronger, more well-rounded team when Clark comes back. And in the meantime, we get to see who steps up and how the team evolves.
Role with this group when you played so far without Caitlin, do you feel like that would be something they were allowed on for more, and how do you anticipate it?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's the kind of cool thing about our team is we have a lot of depth. A lot of people can do a lot of things, and so when one person goes down, other people step up, and you'll see Syd Colson handling the ball a lot more and playing a lot more, which is awesome. What a great opportunity. And then when I'm out there, I'm sure I'll be handling the ball a little bit too.
How do you like kind of the ball handling duties, kind of going in between off ball and on ball?
You know, I keep it simple. I'm not real flashy or fancy with it. I just do my job. But like I said, when we play really good defense and we rebound the ball and then we're in transition, that's the best offense we can possibly play in. So if I'm handling the ball, that's the kind of offense I want to play in. But you know, that's not always the case. And so I'm confident in it. I work on it. It's been, I need to get my rhythm back a little bit just from being injured and out and kind of getting my lungs underneath me again. And so it'll be good, but I like it. I don't mind it.
How do you anticipate the feel of games being different, given the structure is kind of built around her playing style?
Yeah, I think, again, I think it's a great opportunity for us. Clearly, we want her out there. I think she draws so much attention, and she's a phenomenal player. But at the same time, I think it's a great time for her to learn from the sidelines. It's a great opportunity for us to learn offense, right? Move the ball, pass, cut. We just can't stand and watch anymore. And so I think it's going to be good for us to actually get into our action, and then defensively for us to take another jump up a little bit and be more aggressive on the defensive end.
You should get your lungs back.
Yeah.
How long does that take you to feel like this right away? Close now?
Yeah, no, I do feel close. I've just been eating like a freaking cow lately, so I need to chill out on that. But otherwise, no, I really do feel good. It's funny because you feel so good going into training camp. You get injured in a preseason game, then you don't really do anything for 2 weeks. 2 days is hard on you, so imagine 2 weeks. But I really am feeling good. It sucks she's out now, but overall, I think our team's doing pretty well.
Is your ankle bothering you at all anymore?
No. only in heels.
Were you surprised? You said you asked out like 2 minutes into the game.
Oh my gosh, I got so much heat from my family and friends for that, but like that was the first time I like really ran, and so it was a pretty quick-paced game for the first 3 minutes. I was like, hey, I'm a team first, I'm a person, so if I'm feeling I'm gonna ask out, but yeah, I got a lot of heat for asking out in 3 minutes.
All right.
Woo! Bye guys, thank you. Bye.
If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you.